Douglas, People Now. Now, here's Mike.
Well, most actors and actresses dream about having a successful TV series, which lasts more than a few episodes. My first guest has had 2, and is currently starring in a 3rd. You know her from Bridget Loves Bernie, from Family, and now Family Ties. Here's Meredith Baxter Birney. Hi.
Hello.
Good to see you again. Been a lot of years since
I was trying to figure
our
out how
paths
many.
crossed.
I think it's been about 10.
Yeah, at least.
9 or 10.
Yeah, at least. The first show I mentioned, Bridget Loves Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
You married that guy, didn't you?
Yeah, what can I do?
And you're Mrs. Bernie now.
Yes, that, I figured we spent so much time together just in doing the show, and that really was only on 1 year. May have seemed like an eternity in some regard.
But that's when it happened, when you guys did that show together. And it's working, and everybody talks constantly about show business marriages and 2 people having the same kinds of careers and the fact that it doesn't work, and you're disproving that. That's nice.
Thank you. I'm not going to contest it. I think we're doing a real good job. I think it's probably hard in any arena, but I've got one of the best guys around, so.
Yeah.
That's David Birney, in case I feel like we're talking about him in absentia.
David Birney, yes. And you walked off of, or you left a very successful show.
I didn't walk off.
I mean, you didn't walk off. Maybe it would have been more interesting had you walked.
I threatened. It was great.
Did you? And you left a show called Family, and now you're on a show called Family Ties. You can't seem to
No, I
break
did
that
Family
image.
Feud, and I did Family Man. I thought I'm not doing any show without family in it. I'm very family-oriented.
Once you finish a successful series, and there aren't that many, I mean, we know what the batting average is out here, and then you wonder, I guess, about working again, don't you? And what you're going to do. And do you kind of say, I'm going to take a little bit of time off and catch my breath because it's such hard work? Or?
Oh, yes, it's a luxury then to take that time off. It's interesting how that time off changes from being a luxury to, oh my God,
Here I go again.
Will I ever work again?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it becomes frightening.
Do you also turn down things when you leave a successful show like Family?
Yes, because I'd worked for 5 years on Family, and it was a wonderful show to do, and we had excellent writers and excellent actors to work with. You want to use whatever weight, whatever heat has accrued from doing a show like that, and you become very selective and say, well, I don't have to go right into another series.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
I wasn't interested in it. So for several years, you do, a TV movie here and a guest spot there, or a play, which was wonderful. The way that Family Ties came around, I had fielded a few series ideas, and I really wasn't that interested in it. But I think a full year had come when I hadn't done anything. Now, sometimes that's because I had turned things down.
Yeah. What kind of things did you turn down? Were they all kind of the same type of thing that you had done? Because people kind of put you in a mold after a while,
Yeah.
They really do, especially out here.
That's too bad, too.
It is. They don't let you stretch.
I wanted to be in Postman Always Rings Twice.
Of course.
But they said, you don't look like a murderer. Could this person kill somebody? And you want to say, tell that to the police, and they will never have to look for anybody but those people.
Or anyone who looks
dangerous.
like you.
Yes, they just write me off there. Yes, you do tend to get categorized.
Yeah. Would you like to do the Postman Always Rings Twice? I know you're being
Not
facetious.
after I saw it. Oh, God. I'm well out of that.
None of that for me. What makes Family Ties so different?
Well, it's an exceptionally fresh look, I think, at the family situation. And maybe every year, every couple years, we'd be going back to seeing families on television again. I think because everyone wants to see how other people do it, even if it's just a fictional family. And there's a lovely working relationship with Michael Gross, who plays my husband, who just won an Obie Award this year or last year, and it's terrible, I don't remember which, for a wonderful performance in New York.
Obie is for off-Broadway, right?
Off-Broadway,
yeah.
Yes. And my children are played by Michael Fox and Justine Bateman and Tina Yothers. And
isn't that nice of you to remember all of them and mention their names? Not everyone does that.
I was mentioning to someone in makeup that I don't know of any other job where every day I'm so happy to go in there. The writers are exceptional, and that's Gary Goldberg wrote and created it, and he's producing it, and Lloyd Garber and Michael Whitehorn are two exceptionally fine writers, and they're all in there and saying, okay, well, what doesn't work, and why don't you like it, and okay, well, we'll try and work on this, or no, that idea is stupid, we're sticking with this.
That's great.
But it's all open and above board, and they want to know what you think, and if they don't like it, okay, well, they'll tell you, but you don't come away wounded from it. It's just, it's a lovely, lovely working situation.
Sounds nice. Sweetie, you brought us a clip from the show, Family Ties?
Yes, and I just saw it, and it's, of course, it's all about me, but it's not.
Is that a coincidence?
Yeah,
that you're here and it's all about you?
I would have liked something a little funnier. This is a segment from a show in which I was featured, and I think I just tend to go on a lot, but it's just from an episode in which I'm an architect, and I have hired a friend of mine to work with me, and she's screwing everything up.
Okay, Meredith Baxter Birney in Family Ties. Watch. In the 80s, and so do you.
That's tough, no matter what decade you're in.
I wouldn't know how to explain if my child came to me. Thank God they're old enough that they know the answers, hopefully know the answers, and asked me about our future, you know, and the A-bomb and all that stuff, which kids hear about. I wouldn't know how to respond to that, you know, because none of us know what that outcome is going to be.
No, that's...
Or how that's going to happen. What is your greatest worry for your children?
I'm hard put to come up something really cogent right now. That getting through the next week is, we should be further side. David is much further sighted than I. I tend to be more practical and work from
day by
to
day.
day.
He kind of looks ahead.
Yeah, he's so many.
Still like him, don't you? That's nice.
He's so fine. I'm thinking in terms of with the children and doing home. He's probably home doing homework now.
Really?
With all three of them, I think, have reports due.
God, with the new math, I was puzzled by that.
You
know, they were giving courses at the schools where my daughters went to school for parents on the new math. I was an excellent math student, but the new math is like a foreign language. I mean, you sit down, you watch your child do a problem, and it's a whole other approach, a whole different way of doing it than we learned as kids. It's frightening.
It's a different way of stating basically the same.
The answers
the same
are
thing.
the same, but the approach is so different. You know?
Pocket calculators.
Yeah.
Great.
Now your husband, we're talking about David Birney. He's also busy in a TV series,
in a
St.
brand
Elsewhere.
new show called St. Elsewhere.
Wonderful
It's just
things
started on NBC.
You know, everybody. It's interesting the things you hear in the business about. This show is going to be a big winner and all that sort of thing. Does he feel that way?
Yeah, he feels very positively about it. It's in a hospital. I don't know if I look at you or in the camera. It's set in a hospital, and it's the day-to-day crisis level that they all deal with in the hospital. And David plays a surgeon who operates to Bruce Springsteen. And he had to borrow a record from a neighbor girl of ours to say, what does this man sound like? And it's terrible how removed you are from that genre of music if it's just not part of your life and you have to go and educate yourself on Brunstein. I'm sorry, I won't make any comments.
I wanted to talk to you about the New York Marathon because you and your husband both ran
Yes.
that. My gosh. Did you finish?
Of course we
Well, I mean, it's
finished.
a normal question, isn't it?
wouldn't bring it
26
up.
miles.
No, we've been training for a long time. This is David's second marathon, and he came in with, I think it was a wonderful time of 3:43.
3 hours and 43 minutes?
Yeah, I was 4 hours and 8 minutes.
Hey,
The winds were real strong.
against
and it was
you,
cold.
apparently, yes.
Sometimes you're running right into the wind, going across 59th Street Bridge. It was across and kind of staggers your step. I came away from, I stop people when I'm running, every morning when I'm running, saying, hey, the marathon, it's great, and you've got to run in New York because it's such a high.
How long have you been running?
Only 4 years. I started running because David had been running, and he started running when he was out of work. See, he's smart. When he was out of work, he started running. I took a series. I don't know. Well, actually, it doesn't sound that bad. I I shouldn't complain. That
But you
sounds good.
finished. I mean, you at least saw Salazar for a little while. No? How many
I was in
thousand people?
Salazar's dust, about 2 hours behind him. That we were saying over the bridge, coming in about the 14-mile mark, we were crossing one bridge, and someone set up a sign saying, "This is your time at this point," and also the next person held up a sign, "Salazar has come in with a winning time of 2:09 or something. And we think, well, what heck? Anybody can run for 2 hours. It takes a real he-man to get out there and run for 4 or 5.
Jeez, if I ever enter that race, somebody hold up a sign that'll say Happy New Year on it, you know. Please stay for our next guest. We'll be right back. Will you stay? Yeah, sure.
Sure.